Hey guys, Morgan Ray Plants here. Welcome back for another video. I think you'll notice that the name has changed from My Glorious Leaves to Morgan Ray Plants on my YouTube channel. My Instagram is still My Glorious Leaves, and that is my business's name where I sell my plants, my painted pots, everything like that. But for the YouTube video, I wanted to keep everything a little bit more casual and make it a little bit more of a vlog style plant care thing. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about sulfur. Sulfur is just a really important component of your soil. It helps facilitate your plant growth, it helps with absorption of nutrients, and your plants really need it. It's something that is completely overlooked because it's not in normal fertilizers. You usually see NPKs, nitrogen, phosphorus, and your potassium. And you never really hear too much about sulfur. Well, sulfur is something that is so important for your plant's growth, and a lot of people will add it to their soil to make it more acidic when your soil has a high pH and it's more alkaline. This one here specifically says it controls powdery mildew, rust, black spot, scab, and certain mites. It does help with spider mites and flat mites, and I unfortunately have a slight flat mite situation. I think a lot of people with Hoyas have had this situation right now. I've spoken to a couple of people who also have the same problem, and that's what we are going to be using it for today. When your plants have a sulfur deficiency, you'll notice that the new leaves are growing spindly, not very healthy, a lighter green, thinner, both in like the length of the leaf, it'll be like longer and thinner rather than wide, but also the actual like thickness of the leaf will be thinner. It's just gonna look not the greatest. I honestly kind of might have an example here with this philodendron melanochrysum. I have it a little bit rigged up here because I'm trying to air layer the roots, but I'm noticing like this top growth, first of all, this petiole never produced a leaf, like it didn't fall off or anything, it just never grew. And then it's this long spindly thing, whereas you can see every other leaf came out like pretty close together. And then at the top we just have this like long growth and this like spindly little leaf, which is pretty small compared to like all these other ones that are coming. So that could be a sulfur deficiency. Some people think that these are really similar conditions to nitrogen deficiency, but nitrogen deficiency will affect the bottom leaves of your plant at the very base. So if you notice it at the top, it could be a sulfur problem. So on the container here, it says to add 1 tablespoon of the powder to a liter of water and put it in a spray bottle. For my Hoyas, I ended up actually putting it into a little container, and I added probably like a few tablespoons, to be honest, and I made a more opaque liquid. It wasn't like a thick paste, but it was more opaque and more concentrated than the spray. I did spray it on my syngonium and I think 1 philodendron, just because it was near the Hoyas that were having the mite problem and I just wanted to be safe. If my philodendron are actually having a mite issue, then I'll mix it into the soil. One of my friends who is really big into Hoya, she had, I don't know if she actually had a mite problem, but she did tell me about the mite problem with Hoyas right now. And she also just noticed a lot of hers just weren't growing, and that is another symptom of sulfur deficiency as well. And she mixed this with water and painted it all over her leaves of her Hoyas, and about 2 weeks later she noticed new growth from plants that didn't have growth for months before. And then I saw them about 2 months after, and they had long vines, many leaves. So if you're noticing that your plants just aren't growing for some reason, that might be something that you might want to check out trying. I'm going to try it out today on my Hoyas that are both not growing and ones that do have a mite problem. So I actually recorded myself applying this to my plants about a week ago, but I wanted to re-record it because I felt like I didn't explain the benefits of sulfur and everything in general good enough. So here's like past me. This is a Hoya villosa, and you can see this damage here, piece there, you can see along here, if you can see the backs of the leaves as well. I honestly just thought it was just like a dry spot or something, like it didn't look like anything, but mites are actually not visible to the naked eye. You actually need like a 10 times magnification like microscope to see it, and I don't have like my little like microscope machine thingy with me, so I actually can't tell if there actually is mites on here. But so there's that one, and then this one I noticed just now, I believe, has a similar problem. It's that like light tan color, like dryness looking stuff there. I'm just gonna like wet the brush, dip it in there, and mix it in with this water here. Hers created like a paste, so I'm gonna add like a little bit more. So now I've got it a lot thicker here. I just kept pouring it in. So now it just looks like a thick, like milky liquid here. So I'm just like painting it on like this. And then it should dry with that like white, sort of dusty looking surface. But I want to brush it just to make sure that it gets in all the crevices, especially with any Hoyas that have like these have a lot of dimples. So I'm just gonna be like literally covering like the whole stem and all the backs of the leaves. So a lot of times like Hoyas, once they've been like imported or even just like changed environments or something like that, sometimes they're just really not like happy with their new climate, or they're just not acclimating well, or it's just taking them a really long time to get going. So this will jumpstart the growing process. So I'm going to just paint this on a bunch of plants that I have that just aren't really growing very much. This one I cut a very, very long time ago. Oh wow, look at the bottom of that leaf. That's really bad. So these ones that do have that like flat mite damage, I'm going to put in a separate place. So they are not going to be near my other Hoyas, but keep it moving so that all the stuff doesn't settle. So this plant just has like a little bit of damage like that, which are those like little divots. That's what the damage on the Hoya villosa looked like to me at the time. So this is a Hoya Sarawak that I got in the mail over a year ago. I ordered this in the summer of 2021. And it is now February 2023. It has not grown a single bit. I bought like an unrooted cutting online, but it came in one of those little like water vials. Literally absolutely nothing. See, it's just got a really white, dusty kind of finish on it. You can remove it after a few weeks once you start to see growth. All of the Hoyas that I went through, I actually ended up through the process of like brushing them and stuff, saw some damage like on the backs of leaves that I didn't notice before, so I did like brush those ones really good and separated them. So I have actually done, I think, like all my Hoyas pretty much. I sprayed it's like Pilea peperomoides. It's just very like, you can just see it just like bubbles up like that. So I'm just gonna go around and show you all of the plants and what they look like. Hopefully I'll do an update video in a couple of weeks just to show you like how much growth they've all had, and just to see if any of those problems went away. So let me show you. So these are some of the Hoyas that I completely covered. These are ones that I did actually see damage on. Up here, I didn't see any damage, but I still sprayed that one just because I hadn't seen it grow in quite some time. And then these are some more Hoyas. They just hadn't grown in a long time. This one I think had a little bit on the back. And these are the ones that actually do have mites, and they are separate from everything else. And then this Syngonium I did give a spray, but you can't really tell. In this cabinet over here, I did put that paste on all of the Hoyas up here, except for this one, just because it's working on rooting and you shouldn't like fertilize plants that are freshly cut, so I didn't want to disturb that. And that's the same with all of these down here, just because they are cuttings and they are just like freshly cut. Hopefully I've covered all the bases. If you have any questions, please leave them down below and I will try to answer them when I do the update video. I'm gonna try to do like an update in maybe like 2 weeks just to show you how much they grew. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna try to upload a lot more videos soon. I know I always say that, but I honestly have been really busy, and the editing portion is just not the most fun for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I am really enjoying when I have something that I think is really important that other plant parents should know about, such as the sulfur. Please try it. I think your plants will really benefit from it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.